Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Monday, Moon Day, March 17th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 2 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. The spirit guidance for today, the dragon energy comes out in the reversal position. Interesting. I feel like I didn't know what to think of today when I got to today's energy. I looked outside and there was a yellow butterfly. I didn't get to see it good because I was, getting stuff together for today's message. And seeing the yellow butterfly brought me to some kind of a breakthrough moment, some kind of a transformative moment. Or transformative energy. The moon does go into Scorpio today. So the moon, our inner world, is in a place of transformation, is in a place of control, is in a place of the occult, divination, secrecy. But when I think of the dragon energy coming out in the reversal position for today's energy, it will bring me to the feeling of not having enough information when it comes to a thing. I think of like a person having a hard time trusting their intuition, or not just trusting intuition. I think of searching for information and then forgetting that you don't need to go scrolling through YouTube or Google for the information that you seek. Instead, just spend the next few days in as much silence as possible and remind yourself that the answer to your question will come to you. And, don't put on any expectations on how it will come to you. Just know the answer will come and trust that the answer will come. Because with the dragon in the reversal position, I get the feeling of somebody losing their way. The image that comes to mind is someone holding a key for very powerful information and losing the key, not sure where the key is. But it's like, even though you have a key to get into this place, you don't even need the key to get in there because you have memory of everything that's in there. So either way, you have access. And today's energy brings me to that feeling of forgetting one's access. Today's energy brings me to a feeling of maybe feeling extremely overwhelmed, emotionally overwhelmed. I'm getting the feeling for some of us, it's that feeling of forgetting who you are to a certain extent. And I say that because the moon is in such a delicate place in Scorpio. And with the moon in Scorpio, in this moment, I feel like it's in a delicate place because it's squaring Pluto in Aquarius. And with the square being made between the moon and Pluto, it brings me to not being able to own something. It's like there is something happening when it comes to the home, the family, or the emotions, what's happening in the inner world. And it's like having a hard time facing it, having a hard time dealing with it. It's like focusing on everything else but the problem. Yes, focusing on everything else but the problem. It brings me to the thought of, say, a group of friends, and not even friends, a group of people, and say person A is always bullying person C. And instead of person C confronts person A, person C picks a fight with person F because they know that person F is going to back down and won't want any problems. So instead of picking the fight with the person who want a fight with them, they avoid it completely and go for someone else who doesn't even want to be bothered with that. And I feel like when it comes to today's energy brings me to that, where it's like something is a problem or something is a matter, and there's a hard time with dealing with what the matter is, dealing with the issue. So it's like something is a matter, but it's like, okay, an example that's coming to mind, I think of like, say if someone's having like digestive issues, and instead of acknowledging, what one is consuming that's creating the digestive issues, instead a person could find themselves going down the rabbit hole today about parasites and how parasites are on everything and parasites are in everything, and parasites could be the reason for their digestive issue, and that could be, but it's quite obvious, every time you consume A, B, C, D happens. And there's something around avoiding the root of the issue. And I feel like maybe there's a fear of confronting the root because not ready to do what needs to be done. So when it comes to today's energy, wherever in your life that you don't feel secure, the issue is going to come up today. And it might feel a little bit intense, as some of us might find ourselves feeling overly emotional, while others of us instead might spend the time trying to educate ourselves on the matter. I think of the person constantly watching videos on, narcissists and different things like that. And it's like, yes, you want to understand the dynamic of the connection, but you're probably past that now and at the state of where you need to implement boundaries and consistently implement them and not forget about them, not change your mind, not feel guilty about asserting them, and shift the situation on a whole. Today's vibe just brings me to the thought of avoiding the real issue. There's something emotional and intense, or even anxious, make some of us feel anxious about today's energy. And I feel like it comes down to avoiding the main issue, because it's going to require something of us, and we're not ready for that. We're not ready to own that. We're not ready to feel that. We're not ready to deal with that. Today's Monday ruled by the moon energy, and that's happening with the moon in Scorpio. So it could be power issues, dealing with the mother, the home, or just our emotions. And, there's no wanting to face it, not wanting to deal with it. So when it comes to today's energy, another challenging aspect is North Node conjunct Sun in Pisces and Neptune and Saturn. And that is squaring Jupiter in Gemini. So when it comes to today's energy, something about friendships and socializing. So today could be one of those days where we just want to be alone, want to spend time alone, want to spend more time alone than normal, because, others could be easily triggering. Others can be easily triggering. And I feel like others are easily triggering because the way how we see ourselves and the way how people see us often are so different. And it's not until we interact with others we're able to see ourselves the way how the world sees us, or see ourselves how different people see us. And from that, we get to decide what we'll do with that information, but at least we'll know. And today's energy feels like not wanting to be bothered with people. And maybe because some of us feel a little bit tender, we feel a little bit fragile when it comes to certain things. Let's pause for a bit. I am proud of the services that I offer and excited to tell you about them. If it would be your first time booking with me, then I recommend the Natal Chart and Numerology Awareness Coaching Session. For a while, that was the only service I offered, along with the 30 minutes tarot reading, which is still available if you're interested. I noticed the pattern. At the end of the Natal Chart and Numerology coaching sessions, some of you would ask me for a follow-up service options for additional clarity and guidance to assist you with whatever you're going through at the moment. I kept saying, I'll look into it. I don't know why it took me so long. Finally, I have created that option along with the service option to book a solar return chart reading for those of you who are strategic and like to plan ahead. Everything you need to know is within the description box below. Let's get back into the video. So we have the Two of Pentacles in the upright position, and the Two of Pentacles brings me to the thoughts of getting something going to create stability and security. But when I look at this card, I look at someone trying to manage two things. And because they're trying to manage two things, it's very stressful. Emotionally, it's very stressful. It's overwhelming. So when it comes to today's energy, there's big emphasis on having to make up your mind around something. You have to choose something. I mean, you can keep it going, but keeping something going that you've been going is taking too much from you. And you have to make a choice. And I feel like when it comes to today's energy, some of the emotions that, some of us will deal with and have everything to do with having to make a choice. Yeah, having to make a choice when it comes to something, whether it's the person who's juggling the two jobs and it's like, okay, you have two part-time jobs, but these two part-time jobs don't add up to a full-time job. That could be a situation. Or a person, I think of like a person juggling two places where it's like you have a lease in two places and it's like you're going to have to pick one because it's costing too much. It's requiring too much energy. It's taking too much from you. And you might feel like, well, I don't know which to choose. I don't know what to do. And it's like, you do know what to do, just afraid to do what needs to be done. And as you try to figure out what decision to make today, ask yourself, what am I afraid of exactly? What am I afraid of exactly? That's it. What am I afraid of exactly? Because it comes down to having to make a decision about something, because even though you're juggling two things or multiple things and you appear to be doing it okay, the issue is that, it's requiring a lot of energy. A lot of energy is, required to making these things happen. And also too, you're being spread too thin in the process of trying to juggle these multiple things that you're juggling. But with today's energy though, for a lot of us, we'll find ourselves feeling intense emotions, and these intense emotions has everything to do with not feeling enough, or not feeling, maybe enough is the word. Yeah, not feeling enough, feeling insignificant, or feeling like we fall short when it comes to something, or not enough for something, or even strong feelings of shame. But there's some emotions that come up and they're being triggered because, there's an opportunity to transform these emotions by acknowledging them and owning them. But instead today we could find ourselves working extra hard so we don't feel these emotions. Just doing other things so we don't have to face whatever it is that we're feeling. And the sooner we face whatever it is that we're feeling, the sooner we'll have our transformative moment, because today's energy feels like there could be a dark night of the soul opportunity for some. And for me, a dark night of the soul opportunity is when there's major conflict between the heart and the mind. There's major conflict between both, where the heart knows what's next and the mind is stuck on what is. The mind is stuck on what's familiar, what's predictable, that makes the mind feel safe. And the heart wants to go to a place that the mind has never been. The mind has no experience. So the mind wants to pull us back to what's familiar, but the heart is pulling us towards the direction that we need to go in. And when it comes to today's energy, this is a great opportunity to reflect on what is the mind afraid of exactly. What are we afraid of? What's the worst that can happen if we, go with our heart? Because, when it comes to today's energy, big time back and forth between the heart and the mind. The heart wants a new experience. The mind is terrified of where it is that you're trying to go. So instead, it's trying to convince you to stay, but the heart doesn't want to stay. So when it comes to today's energy, big time introspective vibes on that. Some of us could come to the realization that we want to go back to school, to focus on other things, learn other things to improve our lives in that way. For others of us, it might just be that, it's a way to distract ourselves from whatever it is that we're feeling. But either way, today's energy, whatever it is that you need to know, everything that you need to know is already within you. And it's a matter of just knowing that and expecting for the information to come to you. It was a pleasure sharing this message with you. Before you go anywhere, let me know you're here with me by dropping me an orange heart in the comment box below. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.